She is a Sapphire ambassador.
But it's, I don't. It's so far, it's 4 different ones. I have to break it up. But, yeah. Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Where's my little clicker? All right. Well, my name is Kimberly Silver. I am a Sapphire ambassador with Plexus. Yay! One of the things that the ladies were asking me about, or wanted me to talk about, was goals. And so for me, goals was pretty important when when I signed up under Jennifer, my sister Jennifer, kind of told you a little bit about her testimony, how she got started, and I did. I kind of wanted her to come in and just start this with me. It was kind of something we discussed when we did it was Super Saturday out in Scottsdale back in January. And that was one of the things that it was hard for me because I'm not get in front of a group of people and talk. It's like Jennifer discussed earlier, I'm shaking here. So anyway, we were in Scottsdale, and I remember looking up and looking at my sister and going, oh my God, how am I going to do this? We had all the executives of the company up there, and we had a little over 200 people there. And that was actually one of the first big events that we had actually stood up and spoke at. So it was a step out of the comfort zone. When I first started Plexus, I had actually started I got a 3-day from Jennifer. She started posting on Facebook and asked her about it, and I got a 3-day sent to me, and I threw it on my desk. Okay, so
it's hard when you do that.
So one of the things with anybody that starts into Plexus, I always tell them, think about your goals. What are your goals with Plexus? First and most importantly is identify your why. I'm going to have to change sides here. Okay. Now, can you hear me? A little bit? Maybe I'm going to lift it up. Okay, so identifying the why is why did you make the decision to join Plexus? Okay? One of the things I ask people when I sign them up is, did you need extra income? Do you want to quit your real job and stay at home with your kids? Order all your products at wholesale. For me, this was my why. Okay? This is my family. I got to do this without crying. Hang on.
It's okay.
Right here? Okay. So when I started Plexus, I had Facebook messaged Jennifer Poole, and I asked her to send me some information on Plexus, and she did. And it sat on my desk for 8 weeks. And she messaged me right before Christmas and said, Kim, they're having a sign-up special with Plexus. Because I told her up front, I was like, look, if I do it, I'm going to have to get it at the cheapest price possible, and I'm going to have to join. But I don't want to sell anything. And she knew that. And so she didn't really push me into anything. She didn't, she did follow up with me, and I told her I tried the product. It was great. I loved it, loved the energy, but I came up with every excuse possible for me not to start the business. For me not to start the product. It was still sitting on my desk when I signed up as an ambassador December 30th of 2011. My mom posted a picture of me and my sister at Christmas that year, and I was at one of my biggest sizes I had ever been in my entire life. Now granted, I was happily married. We just had our first baby, my third, and just things weren't right. I was still unhappy with myself. My husband had lost his job, and I was feeling like I was forced to go back to work after giving birth to my third child, and I wasn't ready. And so I had went into a funk. I went into a funk, that's just the best way to put it. And I started eating my emotions. One of the hardest things was knowing that my husband had lost his job. I was going back to work, and how are we going to make our bills? We didn't have a family vehicle that was big enough for our family. And so our vehicle came from, it was a used vehicle that my uncle had owned a tow yard. And so we went in and got a car that was abandoned on the side of the road. And we fixed it. And I came to Jennifer and I said, Jennifer, or I told my husband, I was like, I've got to do this. And so I went and took the last $130 that we had taken out for that Christmas on a loan to get gifts for my kids. And I signed up to be an ambassador. And so January 2nd, I decided I was going to do this. I needed enough people to either share the product with or sell enough product to get my next month's product free. And so my husband had asked, he was like, Kim, what are you doing? And I said, well, I just spent the last $130 we had and joined as an ambassador with Plexus. And he literally looked at me and said, not another company. And I told him, no, I'm not selling anything. I'm just getting this product, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, you know, I'm out $34.95. And actually, I was only going to be out $19.95 because they had a sign-up special. So, anyways, my product came in, my welcome kit came in January 2nd, so I went ahead and started the product since I went ahead and invested the money that we had. And I called my mom. I hit up everybody I knew on Facebook. I called my sister. My sister literally told me, you're crazy and I'm not doing it. And I told her, I'm going to send you a 3-day anyways because you're going to try it. Now, granted, Jennifer had sent me a 3-day that I had told her once had gotten lost in the mail because apparently I must not have got it. And so I'd sent that out, and my business just kind of started happening. You know, I called my mom. She was another one. She's like, Kim, you're going to get me suckered into something else. I was like, no, just do it. Because I knew if I could get her into it, I'd get $25 or maybe even $50 to put towards that next month's product. And so got my sister on board. And then my husband's like, well, Kim, you know, I gained 70 pounds during this pregnancy with Callie. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, you're not going to leave me here fluffy. And I'm like, well, you better find some way to get $99 because you're not taking my product. I like the way it makes me feel. So he literally saw the way things were changing with me, you know, emotionally and physically, you know, even after a few short days of just using the product. And he went out and, you know, scrapped some metal and got enough money to sign up because I knew if we signed him up, I would get that extra silver bonus, you know. And so I started seeing the checks come in a little bit, and I was like, all right. You know, I've got next month's covered. Now, what am I going to do for the next month? Well, I started reading through the compensation plan, and I started looking how things were working. I was like, oh, if I fast track, I can double my bonuses. Well, I don't know if any of y'all know about fast track, but if you fast track to gold in your first 30 days, your bonus is double. And so, in that case, I was a day or two short of hitting that 30-day mark and fast tracking. So, I literally hit up everybody that was on my Facebook page. I was inviting them. They'd ask me about the products. I'm like, I don't know. I'm still learning. Check out my webpage. And so it just kept going from there. Anyways, I went back to work, and I'd been in the dental field for 17 years. You know, I knew everything there was to know about teeth. I knew nothing about Plexus products. I knew nothing about marketing because I had tried other MLMs and just couldn't do it. I was spinning my wheels and spending more money and had more inventory that I knew what to do with. And by the time I got out of that company, I was selling everything for 90% off just to recoup some of my money. So my family became my why. We had never went on a family vacation. We just weren't able to really do anything. I was literally having to steal from Peter to pay Paul and to make ends meet. And I'm not going to go any further because then I'll cry even more. So that was one of my biggest things, was just finding my why. And that's what I tell people, like if I'm sponsoring somebody in, I want you to find what your why is. You know, identifying your own why is going to give you the drive to make what you need in this business. For me, I don't care if I never made another paycheck with this company. It's the people that I've met, the people that come to me and just tell me thank you for helping me, you know, with just their health stories. The health stories that come in and the way their lives have changed health-wise, that means more to me than any bonus that I'm getting from Plexus, any, you know, car that they're giving me. Because I do like my Lexus, don't get me wrong. It beats driving a Ford F-150 single cab pickup. But, you know, to me, the gratification that I'm getting from these people that I'm helping means more to me than any dollar amount. And I think that's why, you know, as I continuously grow in this business, it's because of the people that I'm surrounded by. Identifying your why is going to be the reason you set your goals. My why was my family. I wanted to be able to do more for them. I wanted to be able to stay at home with my kids one day because I've worked since I was 15. So I never really got to take the time off from work for a true vacation because my vacation was normally used when my kids were sick. The school was calling me, so I was having to use vacation days to make up for those hours that I left work, or some family emergency that came about, you know, a family member died and they wouldn't let me take, you know, leave of absence for that. So I was having to make up, you know, the time away just with my vacation days. So by the time I got a real vacation, I didn't have any days left, so we never took one. Your why is also going to make your passion to make things happen. Again, for me, my family, I look at my family and go, I want to be at home. This was going to be my last baby, you know, and it was my husband's first, and I told him it was our last, and I didn't want any more, and I wanted to be able just to be, my son's 17. He is getting ready to graduate. I've never been able to stay at home with him and enjoy his time, and I'm looking at him going, he's leaving me next year. You know, he's going to go off to college, and I haven't even really had any time to spend with him because I've always been the mom that's either worked one job or two jobs or a part-time job or a full-time job. So anyways, the questions you need to ask yourself is, why did I join Plexus? And how much money do I want to make? Do you want to work it full-time or part-time? For me, I wanted to find a way to get out, not so much out of dentistry because I didn't like it. I still have a passion. I wanted to be a dentist. So, I mean, if I had to go back to dentistry, it wouldn't bother me. But I found something with Plexus that gave me the freedom to be able to spend time at, you know, at home with my kids and still make a paycheck, you know. So my family is my why. Setting goals are essential. You know, for most people, it could be a health goal, personal goal, financial goal, a goal with Plexus. Some of you, it just could include a rank advancement. You know, most people come in and want a goal just to go silver. And that's what I always tell them. Set the goals small. You know, even if it's a weekly or daily or monthly, yearly, however you want to do it. You know, when you first come into Plexus, just make that first rank silver. You know, then you can work your way up, go to gold and senior gold. I came in and I would have never in a million years would have thought that I would have even made emerald. Jennifer, when I'd sit back and look at her climbing the ranks with the company, I was just thinking, man, this is just impossible. How could someone like her and like me, who worked in dentistry, grow to the top of a company? And I literally watched Jennifer go to Emerald, and within a couple of months she was Sapphire, and then she was Diamond. I mean, she has the opportunity to re-enter at, you know, and go work towards Double Diamond. But, you know, I just sit back and think, man, I mean, that became our goal. Like my sister said earlier, you know, we had our family goal. We got my mom involved and my brother and my grandma, and, you know, my grandma's 80, and if she can do it, y'all can. She's a gold ambassador, so if she can do it, so can I.
That's awesome. Wow.
I have a little go-getter that's in Midland, Texas, or actually it's Wellman, and she's another 82-year-old on her way to gold.
Wow.
And she does more in PV than most people on my team.
Wow.
And I went up there and did, you know, a party, a pink party for her